A little nonsense is what I need.
Sit wrap, it's 31 degrees, it's roasting, but it's perfect weather for putting paint on the car. And we'll show you these bits in a minute. So we started work on the head, the block is ready for the head. I've got a window tray and a sump on its way, so we'll do that, put the sump on, and then we'll test all the oil pump, get some oil pumping out the head. Block even, I'll do some voices of the work we're doing on the head, and then we'll move on to putting some paint on the car, starting the first of the stripes. Catch you in a minute. So the block's coming together. We're just measuring up true TDC, CC in the pistons, so we know that, so we can work out what head gasket we need versus the compression ratio we're aiming for. So one thing you notice on these oil cooler, oil filter housings, they have an extra hole on some of these, where the KR ones are just like these, and then you've got this one here with a matching hole and an extra hole there. Know what these for? Well, that hole connects to that hole, and if you look inside these, right down that hole, which you can't see because it's dark, is this. It just looks like a bung, but it's actually a valve. So again, because I've vaporized this, I want to make sure this is clean. Now all this does is prevent quick draining from the cylinder head. So you've got oil in the cylinder head, you know, up there somewhere, and obviously shut the engine off, there's no oil pressure, so it all drains back. This is a little valve which try and limits what oil can drain back from the head, which means the followers can retain some of the oil over a period, so it, you know, a bit quieter on startup. So that's what these are. So I'll just give that a flush out, little simple ball and spring, and then put that back in, and then we can stick that on with a new gasket. Scuttle area also all nice and painted, looking beautiful, and we've also got this wing finished off now, which has a nice new coat of white paint. So we're all looking pretty tidy to get the engine sat in there. So we've got the cylinder head pulled apart to start doing the work on it. Now, looks pretty manky. It's been sat for a while, but this will clean up, and we're going to relap the valves in anyway. Check the guides, inlet guides, I've already had a wiggle on, they're fine. Exhaust guides, I'll measure those properly because you've got quite a bit of clearance on those. Again, if I need to change guides, I'll change them, but if not, they're staying in there. All the valves are out, so again, they'll just all clean up, and then we've got bagged up all the inlets. So the valves doesn't matter, they're obviously, you know which ones, that's inlet, that's exhaust. All the springs, you want to keep all the exhaust springs in one bag, all the inlets in one valve, and all the collets in one bag. Then we'll just run the drill over this, just clean out the worst of it, and all we're going to do is check the valve guides. As long as they're good, I'm happy with them. Then we're just going to relap the valves in, and then we're just going to cut 3-angle valve seats on these, and then blend in. You've got a bit of a shoulder on these, just blend the shoulder in on it, and then all good. So we have 3-angle valve seats cut on all 16 valves. So we have got our 30, 60 and 45 degree cuts. We've also de-shrouded the exhaust valves slightly, just to get more room. And then what we've got now is to sort out the shoulders, I'd call them, which are going to cause a bit of turbulence. So as you can see, we've got the valves in. We've got walls, not shoulders. I'll get me a pointer and show you what I mean. So these bits here at the edge of the Captain Pirate's hook, as the air's coming in, it's going to hit these, so we want to get this area here smoothed off. And again, these sharp edges from a 30-degree cut, smooth those off as well, and just a little bit on again the side of the head there, and we do that on all of those. Now ignore the valves, we've cleaned them up a bit. So we've smoothed all this part. As you can see, it's so much smoother now with the air flowing across. So we've got rid of all that, so it'll be, like I say, improving the flow. We've also back cut the exhaust valves, so you can back cut the inlet valves so the air can come in. I also do the same with the exhaust valves so air can go out. So we're looking a lot smoother in there. I'll say the valves, ignore those, it's just trying to get all this. That bit came off alright, but all this burnt on carbon is very hard to get off. So again, it was just going on the bench grind to get the worst off, and then we'll reface those and looking good. And then we've got to repeat that on all of the ones, and then we can reface the main head. So that is the primer ready for the diamond silver. The first Mk2 gold colour, second actually. So we've got all the roof done, all primed, etch primed, both sides. So then we can get diamond silver on, and then we can get ready to put the Atlas grey on the back. And we have some manky carpets that have been in the attic, so these have got cleaned off by Mrs. Goose. And this heat has been quite helpful getting all this sounding up, because it's literally been so hot, it's just peeling up, plopping up easy. So literally we're removing as much of this as we can. Again, I'm not spending thousands on this car, we're just doing something to prolong its life. So we're going to get all this loose stuff out of the way, and then literally paint all that with some good paint. And there we go, good quality hammerite sort of paint, just chucking it on there. We've got the dashing bits and bobs in, we're getting some carpets in as well, and the front panel and cross member has been done. Mrs. Goose has kindly sorted those out, and we've repainted the front bit of that door in Alpine white as well. So now we've got some cool paint done, let's get some bits on the engine. We have the windridge tray and a new sump. Now I was going to clean the old sump, but a new one is like 20 quid from Autodoc, and this again is like 30 quid. These are good because they're sealed as well, so you don't need a sump gasket. And I haven't even put any sealant on mine on my Golf, and it doesn't leak. So you've got to stick it on there. So the idea of these is when the oil moves around, the crank doesn't hit the oil because it can actually slow the engine down. There we go, sump on. I'll get some bolts, get them lobbed on there. Amongst the chaos, which is everything that's going on at the moment, we have sump on the engine and windridge tray. So the windridge tray is pretty much like, say, it's just, if the oil's swishing around, moving around, it stops the crank from hitting the oil, and that can actually slow the engine down. Not massively, but it's good. That's good because you don't need sealant. It seals itself. That's what I've done on mine, and that's not leaking. Paintwork's looking great. So next video we'll be finishing off the grey and getting the Atlas grey done on the bulk of the back before. Obviously the back needs a lot of work, but we can get the Atlas grey on it. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.
Keep it cool. With you I feel like breaking rules. On the edge, looking out with no parachute.